Hey guys, so this is Gary. So today, this weekend, we finally launched our eSign. We've been working on this for about 4 or 5 months. It's finally ready. Again, this is just version 1.0, so we will be updating this. But I at least wanted to do a walkthrough for you. So if you go to your eSign section now, you'll see it. Actually, when you log into Bellbooks, you'll notice it'll have a new label, so it shows you there's a new section. You click on eSign. You'll have a couple buttons here now. One thing that you'll have is you'll have the option to send an online application as far as having, let's just say the dad or the mom is in, Colorado, and you want them to go ahead and enter some information to start the process. Currently, right now, you either probably have to send them like a PDF or interview them over the phone, but now you can go ahead and just click Send Online Application. So you'll enter the first name, last name, and the email address of the person. Typically, probably it's going to be the cosigner. And then you'll enter their email and then hit Send Email Invitation. And what they'll get is an email to go ahead and they'll click on a button, and then they'll fill out all the information that typically 90% of all the applications that we've seen have, like obviously phone number, email address, social security number, body weight, gender, race, that kind of stuff, employer, all the way down. And then once they fill that information out, they'll go to the next page on that link on that page, and then they'll fill out as much information about the defendant that they know. Obviously, if it's a parent, they're going to know first name, last name, birth date, address, and such. But if you're getting out a friend, they may not know that, the birth date of the friend or whatever, but they'll go ahead and fill out what they know. When they fill out as much information about the defendant as they know, they'll hit next, and they'll go to the part where they can fill out at least one reference. Once it comes back, then Bellbooks will you'll get an alert under dashboard that it'll say clients added by link today. So this number will say like 1, 2, or how many people are now in your system that filled out that online application for you. If you go to the clients tab, you'll notice there's going to be a new list called added by online application. And if you click on that, it'll show you any clients that came in that were added using the online application. But going forward now, once you have them in there, you're able to go ahead and enter the quick entry. We added a new section here called quick entry. So if you go, you'll find the existing client now that they're in your system, and you'll hit go, and then now you'll notice there's only 4 steps. You'll enter in a quick bond information for them, because you'll have to know obviously what bond amount is. If you don't know the power number, some people say, well, we don't know the power number yet. You can go ahead and add a prefix called temp, and then just add some dummy powers to it, just so we can get the basic bond information. So assuming you've done all that, you've added the cosigner once you've added the bond, and then once it's in there, now you can go back to your eSign, and now you're ready to go ahead and send out a signature request. So you'll click on Send for Signature, and then here we have it set up where it'll search and it's only going to search the clients that are active defendants. So it will only bring up, say, Smith, but it's only going to bring Smiths up that are currently on at least one active bond. So you don't have to sort through Smiths that you have from 10 years ago. So it's only going to bring up those people that are currently defendants that are on active bond. And once you select the cosigner or the defendant, let me find again somebody. Now it knows, okay, this is the defendant, and it knows what cosigners have signed for that individual. So if you wanted to, again, try it out, just start typing somebody here. So I did Gary Bigsby. It knows that Gary Bigsby, he only had himself as the cosigner. Then you can go ahead and select the email address for the cosigner. If it's not already in here, which this one doesn't have it, I don't have to leave to go enter it. I can just select Add New Email, enter the person's email address. And then it's not required, but we do recommend that you turn the 2-factor on, so you'll go ahead and enter in the cell phone for the cosigner. So again, if it's not already in the drop-down, you can select Add New, enter the person's cell phone number here. And what that's going to do is when they get the request by email, it'll make them enter a code, and it's just more secure. So once you've selected this, then you can go down here and select the bond that you're sending this eSign for, and then you can go ahead and select the collateral that's attached to that bond. And down here, because we're launching with our own forms, if you wanted to use our forms until we get your forms available, you can. So if you wanted to see, well, what do these forms look like, you can click on the link here that says View Document, and then it'll pop up a page where you can go ahead and view what does that look like. A lot of people said, oh, I can use those because it's nothing specific to your state, but if your state requires specific forms or specific applications, then you can call us here. We can let you know about how we can get your forms there. But for right now, if you wanted to say use our application, our disclosure, and our indemnity and agreement, You could check that. And then all we do is ask that you check this box that you're basically agreeing to a hold harmless. And you can view here for the hold harmless. Basically what it's saying is that you're holding bail books not responsible for, you're using our paperwork with the assumption of risk. And we're not saying that these forms are legal in your state, but you're taking all liability. You're not going to come back and try to sue us because you used our form and it doesn't hold up. So you'll have to obviously know that. So once you check the box, you're able to go ahead and hit send signature request. And then, so again, I didn't add an email, so there's checks, so you can't obviously send a signature request with no email. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the email, and then I'll go ahead and send signature request. This is pretty cool too, because I may be dealing with somebody out of state. I want them, I don't know what they look like, but I want them to go ahead and send a selfie so they can check that box, and I want them to upload a picture of their government ID, like a driver's license, military ID, so whatever that would be. Now, if you've done business with this person, or they're an older person, you don't know if they even know how to do it, you can just not check that and select the bottom that says, I do not need a signer to do neither of the above options. So you'll go ahead and send signature request, and then what happens is now is that signature request went out, and you'll notice now under your e-bond or your eSign section, there's a couple lists. One says need your action, and it shows you the client Gary Bigsby, and we're waiting on it. So let me go ahead and check my email again. So now what happened is I went ahead and got that. It says Acme Bail Bond sent you a document to review and sign. I click review document, and then now again, because I put the two-factor, I need to go ahead and enter the two-factor for that email. And then once you enter the two-factor, then you're able to go ahead and they're able to actually see the form. So let me go ahead and find the message that was just sent. And actually, the message didn't come over. But again, they would enter the two-factor, and then they would be able to start signing their form. And then once they do sign it, you'll go back here, and then it'll go under completed. So you'll see here's one that came back for completed. I'm going to go see from October 1st to now. And you'll see this Doreen Aldine came back completed. So my options, I obviously want to see the form that they signed. I can click verify to see this. It gives me like an audit trail, but if I actually want to see the signed documents, I can go ahead and select signed documents. I'll go ahead and bring this in. This pops up. So here's all the information that was filled out. Now, obviously, because this is a test account, we didn't enter a bunch of information to fill this out. But if they would have entered the employer, all the social security number, that would all be filled out. And if I go down here, you'll see here's the signature. And because we know a lot of people are going to be making photocopies of this and sticking them actually in the hard file, we wanted to at least show, because you may think that's just a photocopy if we didn't add this, but below will say bail bond eSign, so you know that if you're looking at this a couple months from now, that was an eSign, because it has the bail bond eSign, and it gives the IP address and the timestamp, and then we timestamp it over here as well when they signed it. So you'll see there's the signature, there's the IP address, same down here, and then this is important. So this goes out to the cosigner too. So as soon as they sign it, they get this big PDF back. So we show them the receipt. We show them that the two-factor text phone was sent to this cell phone, and we show them it was sent on by this user on a timestamp. These are all Eastern Standard Time. And here's the documents that were sent. There's the cosigner signature. And then we even show you what browser they were using and their IP address, which is important. So again, all this boils down to we're trying to obviously, so somebody couldn't say, well, that wasn't me, or I never signed that. That wasn't my computer. So we have all this that accompanies, anytime you look at it, it'll accompany the signature. So now if I wanted to go to this client's name, if I go here, here's their client summary, but if I go to their actual bond that we sent the eSign for, you'll see that there's a new tab called Bail Bond or Bond eSign Contracts for that bond, and you'll see they're automatically placed here. So here's the status, it was completed, and then my options are I can view the document from here too. So you can go to the bond summary. So if he would have had 5 bonds that were in this transaction, for each bond summary, there would be an option to go ahead and see the form. I know people are going to have a lot of questions, and they're going to want their own forms, but if you have any questions, obviously, go ahead and give us a call. But again, we're still getting forms ready now for like different insurance companies like Universal, American Surety, all those, the bigger insurance companies. So hopefully Within a month or two, we'll have your forms if you just want to use the ones that came from the insurance company. But if there's specific forms that you want to use, please do give us a call. We think a lot of people are going to want to use this because this was our most feature request that we've gotten in a couple years. But now we have it in bill books. Again, you're going to have questions, and we're ready for them. So go ahead and give us a call, 720-254-1267. Oh, one thing I should mention, this is not obviously just a free service. It's $3 per transaction. And what I mean transaction, whether or not the guy had 1 bond or 10 bonds, it's not per signature. It's when it comes back signed, then it's $3. So it's not just sending the request. It is only for completed. So you could have sent out 10 eSign requests and only 4 came back. You would only get charged for the 4 eSigns that came back. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call.